Today on the Topping Show, Bud Light CEO has a meltdown during an interview and may even rehire Dylan Mulvaney. Google drops sponsorship of an anti-Christian drag event. Feds claim that Florida property ban won't stand. Costco to crack down on membership sharing. Volvo is the latest auto company to adopt the Tesla plug. Apple inches forward towards a $3 trillion evaluation. DraftKings dropped the bid for Point Bet. And Yamaha is killing their snowmobile division. All that and much, much more on the Topping Show. Thank you for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see the founder released twice a day. Gotta say, he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner and need a little assistance, you reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Now, going on to the culture part of the podcast, you have the Bud Light CEO having a meltdown during a fascinating interview when they were talking about, what's going on? What are you going to do? Did you do anything wrong? Anything he regrets? And keep in mind, he worked at the CIA for about, I believe it was 4 to 6 years. Although on the upside, he is a veteran. He is a United States Marine. So he has some redeeming characteristics, some might say. And when they asked him if they fired the two marketing geniuses, the Alyssa Heinerscheid, who her name will be written down the history books, or more accurately, the internet and business classes for decades, as someone who destroyed $20 billion of stock evaluation and millions upon millions and billions in sales. It was her that was supposedly fired, as well as the person who was dumb enough to hire her, which his name was Dennis. Now, we have been told for months that they are not fired, they are on a leave of absence. Yesterday, we had thanks to a leak with a confidential informant at the company, we know that they were let go, and they even got a copy of the org chart, and they're not there. And the telltale sign in corporate America, if you have the org structure chart where it says, Bob reports to Sean reports to Bob, to Dennis, what have you. When you have names removed from the org chart, that's kind of that is the final nail in the coffin for you're no longer at that company. And the people who were assigned to Dennis as well as Alyssa, they're now assigned to other people. Now, that being said, today, during this interview, the Bud Light CEO fervently said they are not fired. They're on a leave of absence. And apparently there's rumors that Alyssa has spoken with her friends and she's not allowed to say anything. And it gets even more bizarre. So when they asked him specifically, hey, would you do another marketing campaign with Dylan Mulvaney and put another can on it? The CEO, Brandon Whitworth, just totally jumped into a pre-rehearsed, ridiculous speech about having a social conversation. And he didn't say he would not work with Dylan again. And he's very, very prudently trained by the CIA, or maybe just other politicians, because if you read between the lines, I don't think he's going to rehire Dylan Mulvaney or more controversial figures, but he's just really good at speaking but not saying anything. So releasing very small bits of data. If I was the interviewer, I would almost want to ask him, what's your favorite color? And if he says blue or rainbow, I would just simply say, well, I had to ask. I thought I might get one honest answer out of you, but given your track record, that's probably a lie too. But time shall tell. Their beer sales, again, are now down 28.5%, which is ridiculous. And he was very proud about the fact that they're going to spend 3 times as much as they normally do on marketing this summer. And they're quite literally giving beer away with the $15 mail-in rebate for a 15-pack of beer. And he's all about, they're going hard on the Twitter, putting more and more ads out, or tweets, as the youth call it. And of course, they're viscerally ratioed as more and more people critique them. And the critique of the actual tweets from Bud Light are more popular than the actual Bud Light post itself. And he keeps saying, he really wants to focus on his employees and the ecosystem. And you see this in his commercials where they're highlighting, oh, we're a beer company. Here's Bob. He works as a distributor. He's not an employee, but he's family because Bob, he transports our swill and he buys it from us and he transports it, sells it to the grocery store, yada, yada. Trying to get us emotionally sympathetic towards those extended ecosystem of your company. And I don't think anyone is abrasive about the employees of Bud Light. People, there might be one or two outliers. There are irrational people out there, but most people realize the people who are at blame for the specific marketing initiative are Alyssa Hireschild. What was that guy's name? Dennis, her manager, and then the CEO, Brandon Whitworth, which, again, he's just abdicating all responsibility. But it is moderately entertaining to see him kind of just jump in a pre-rehearsed speech. It's just ridiculous. I just want to especially thank everyone for taking the time to tune in today. This is our 100th episode, and I really appreciate everyone taking time to like, subscribe, and comment. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of July, and I think we can do it together. And every like, subscribe, it all helps out exponentially. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone to stay safe and fight the good fight.